children. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 1, that is crop production and management. This is chapter number 1. So let's see what is this crop production and management. In the previous time, what persons were doing, or our ancestors, what they were doing, they were wandering here and there in the group from place to place. Why? Because of the food as well as for shelter, and they ate raw fruits as well as vegetables. And after some time they started hunting for animals for food. And after, when they got idea about the agriculture, that time they started cultivation of land and produces different type of plants like rice, wheat and other food crops. Like this they started agriculture. Now what is this agriculture? Agriculture, we know, if we are growing plants for our use as well as for commercial point of view, that is known as agriculture. But in this case, first thing, what is crop? See, when plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at a one place on a large scale, that time this plant is known as crop. For example, if I will speak, then if I will take the example of the wheat, means all plants in the area that is of a same type of plant, wheat, this time this wheat plant is known as wheat crop. Next is agricultural practice. In this agriculture practice, first we will see what are the different types of crops. We know whatever is there like fruits, vegetable, whatever is there like cereal, that all are in the category of crop. But this can be classified on the basis of season in which they grow. So let's see how many type of crops are there. See, there are two types of crop. First is kharif crop, next is rabi crop. Now we will discuss each and every crop in detail. What is kharif crop? The crop which are sown in rainy season are called kharif crop. That's why this crop is known as rainy season crop. In the rainy season in India, when the rainy season started, generally from June to September. So the crop which are grown only between the June and September, that is in the category of the kharif crop. Some example of kharif crop like paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnuts, cotton, etc. These all are the example of kharif crop. Next is rabi crop. What is this rabi crop? The crop grown in the winter season are called rabi crop, or we can speak that winter season crop. And the time period is generally from October to March. What are the examples of rabi crop? See, there are different type of examples of rabi crop like wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. These all are the examples of rabi crop. But beside these, some pulses and some vegetables are grown during the summer at many places. So these all are the examples of rabi crop. Now we will discuss basic practices of agriculture. What are the basic practices of agriculture? Means what are the techniques that farmer will apply for the good quality of production, good quality of crop, as well as the maximum production in a very short time period, as well as in limited amount. So these are some examples of the basic agriculture practices, and these are the types of basic agriculture practices. Means first is preparation of soil, next is sowing, After that, adding manures and fertilizers. After that, irrigation. After irrigation, protecting from weeds. After protecting, harvesting. And last is storage. So these 7 steps are known as agricultural practices. Now we will discuss each and every step in detail. See, the preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop, and this is one of the most important tasks in the agriculture. Means in this preparation of soil, this the soil will we will do the soil loose as well as aerated, because if soil will become loose and if soil will become aerated, that time root of plant will go deep inside the soil. And if soil become loose, that time the growth of microorganism will also be increased. Okay, so these organisms are the known as friend of the farmers. If microorganism will grow in the soil, that time the fertility of soil will increase. That's why these microorganisms are known as farmers' friend. Next is how we can do the preparation of soil. First of all, what is the definition of preparation of soil? The process of losing and turning of the soil is called tilling and plowing. Tilling and plowing is known as the preparation of soil. Means in the preparation of soil, these techniques or these steps we will follow. Next is what or which kind of device we can use in the preparation of soil. So see, this process is mainly done by using plow. These plow are made up of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, then it may be needed watering before the plowing. And the plowed field may have a big pieces of soil. Big pieces of soil is known as soil crumbs. And if soil crumbs are there, then you can't move from the second step of the agriculture practice. That's why it is necessary to break that crumbs. And if soil is dry, then how you will break the crumbs and how you will do the preparation of soil. Before preparation of soil, you have to put some water in the soil, because if you will put water in the soil, that time soil become loose and you can break easily that crumbs with the help of plank as well as with the help of plow. That's why these devices are necessary in the preparation of soil. Next is what are the agricultural implements? Before sowing the seed, it is necessary to break the soil crumbs. What are that soil crumbs? The big size of big stone-like structures of the soil that are known as soil crumbs. Because if soil crumbs are there, then your next step you can't be follow the next step better manner or properly. That's why it is necessary to break the crumbs as well as to prepare the soil for the sowing or for the next step by using different type of tools or by using different types of techniques. So the main tools which is used for this purpose are plow and hoe, and nowadays farmers are using this cultivator. Now see what are plow and hoe. See, this is the plow. Plow is being used since ancient time for tilling the soil and for adding fertilizers to the crop, as well as for removing weeds and scraping the soil, or for making the soil for next step, for preparing the soil for next step, that is sowing. So this plow is used for the preparing soil. Now, next some more about this plow. It contains a strong triangular iron strip called a plowshare. This is a strong triangular iron strip. This is known as plow share. And the main part of this plow is a long log of wood which is called plow shaft. This is long wood. This is known as plow shaft. And there is a handle at the one end of the shaft. This is the structure of the plow. And for moving this plow, animal labor is required. Next is hoe. See, this is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for making soil loose. And what is the structure of this hoe? See, this is a long rod of iron as well as of wood and a strong, broad and bent plate of the iron is fixed to the one of its end and works like a blade. This is a very sharp and very pointed plate. That's why it will work like a plate. And this is pulled by animals also. And this hoe is used as a manually also. Next is cultivator. This is an advanced technique for making soil loose and aerated. Nowadays, this plowing is done by using a tractor-driven cultivator. The use of cultivator is save our time as well as our labor. That's why this is a modern technique, and nowadays farmers are using this cultivator for plowing as well as for preparing soil. Next step is sowing. This is the second agriculture practice. This is known as sowing. So, sowing is the most important part of the crop production. And what is the main feature in the case of sowing? Whenever we are doing sowing, then the main step in the case of sowing is the selection of the good quality of seeds as well as healthy seeds. And farmers prefer to use the seed which will give a high yield, which will give a high production. So before sowing, what is the main step? The main step before sowing is to select a good quality of seeds. Now see how we can select a good quality of seed. For this, we will do an activity. In this activity, first take a beaker and fill half of it with water and put a handful of wheat seeds and stir well. Wait for some time. After wait, what you will observe? Just see. After some time, you will see that some seeds will sink at the bottom and some will float on the surface. Seeds which will sink at the bottom, that are healthy seeds. And healthy seeds are heavier. That's why that seeds will sink in bottom. And seeds which will float on the surface, that are the damaged seed, that are not good for sowing. And these seeds are lighter. That's why these seeds will float on the surface of water. Like this, we can select a good quality of seeds and we can select the healthy seeds. What are the tools that be used only in for sowing? See, traditionally farmers were using a device. This is a sowing seed is shaped like a funnel. This is a funnel-like device, and the seeds are filled into the funnel and passed down through 2 or 3 pipes, having a sharp end. This ends precise into the soil and place seeds there. This is the traditional tool for sowing seeds. What is the modern technique? See, this is the modern tool for sowing seed, and this is known as seed drill. Nowadays, seed drill is used for sowing seeds, and this seed drill will work with the help of tractor. This tool sows the seeds uniformly at a proper distance as well as at a proper depth. It ensures that the seed get covered by the soil after the sowing. If seed will covered by the soil, that time seed will prevent damage caused by birds as well as any other animal. So sowing by using seed drill saves our time, as well as sowing by using seed drill will maintain the proper depth as well as proper distance between the two seeds. Next is adding manure and fertilizer. This is the next agricultural practice. After sowing, what we will do? We will put some manure as well as fertilizers in the soil. So let's see what are these manure and fertilizers. The substance which are added to the soil in the form of a nutrient for the healthy growth as well as for the healthy production of plant are called manures as well as fertilizers. And these manure and fertilizers supply minerals and nutrients to the crop. These nutrients are very essential for the plant growth as well as for the plant development. But one more thing, if continuously we are growing only a same type of plant in the soil, that time our soil becomes poor in the case of certain particular nutrients. So for maintaining the balance of nutrients in the soil, what we will use? We will use these manure and fertilizers. By using this manure and fertilizer, we can maintain the nutrient quality in our soil. See, the farmers, what the farmers were doing, farmers were adding manure in the field to replenish the soil, means to maintain the nutrient quality in the soil. And this process is known as manuring. If we are putting manure in the soil to balance or to make the quality good of the soil in the case of nutrients, that time this process is known as manuring. And sometimes some drawbacks are there in the case of a manure, because this manure has a collection of different type of nutrients but only in the limited amount. Next is, what are fertilizers? In the case of manure, one drawback is there. What is that? Each and every nutrient is present in the manure but only in the limited amount. So if our plant need particular nutrient, then we will use this fertilizers. What are these fertilizers? These fertilizers are the chemical substance which are rich in a particular nutrient. And these fertilizers are produced in the factories, and use of this fertilizer has helped the farmer to get a good quality of crop or good quality of production. See, some uses of fertilizers are this: the food fertilizers will provide a particular nutrient to the soil, but many negative impacts are there if we will not use these fertilizers according to desired quantity. If we will use continuously, if we will use fertilizer, and excessive and more use of fertilizers makes the soil less fertile. Because if continuously you are using fertilizer, that time the natural fertility of your soil will decrease. And these fertilizers are responsible for different types of pollution, like water pollution, air pollution, as well as soil pollution. So it is necessary to use these fertilizers according to proper instructions which are given in the bottle, or which are given on the bottle or on the pamphlet. Now, what are the advantages of manure? Here we will discuss the advantage as well as benefits of manure. The organic manure considers better than the fertilizer. Organic manure is good because it is totally biological. Any chemical is not there in the case of organic manure. And what is the benefit? If you will put the organic manure, that time water holding capacity of your soil will increase. One more point, if you are putting the organic manure in the soil, that time your soil becomes porous. And which, if your soil become porous, that time the exchange of gases becomes very easy. And if exchange of gases becomes very easy, that time different types of microbes will develop in your soil that will increase the fertility of your soil. Next, this manure, if you are putting manure, that time it will increase the number of microorganisms which are very beneficial for the soil nutrients or for make the soil fertility. And it improves the texture of the soil also, means water holding capacity will also increase, as well as texture of the soil will also increase, and texture of the soil becomes very good. Next is, what is the basic difference between fertilizers and manures? See, a fertilizer is an inorganic salt. Inorganic means chemical salt. And these manure are a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste and plant residue. Fertilizer is prepared in factories, correct? And manure can be prepared in the fields. Fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil. Humus means compost. And humus means a natural substance which will increase the fertility of your soil. But this manure provides a lots of humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients because each and every fertilizer contains a particular nutrient, and the example of that fertilizers are NPK, N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus and K for potassium. These are the common fertilizers. But manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. Each and every nutrient is present but only in a less quantity. Next step and next agriculture practice is irrigation. See, living beings need water to live, and water is a very important for the growth and development of flowers, fruits and seed. If water is not there, that time seed can't be germinate. So this water is absorbed by the plant roots. Along with water, some nutrients as well as fertilizers are also absorbed by the plant. And plant contains approximately 90% of water. This water is very essential because germination of seed does not take place if water is not there or in the dry conditions. Now, what is the definition of irrigation? See, the supply of water to crop at different interval, this is known as irrigation. And the time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop as well as from soil to soil and season to season. How it will vary from crop to crop? See, suppose wheat plant is there, that wheat plant requires less water for development. But in the case of paddy plant requires much more water for development and growth. In the case of soil, sandy soil require very less water, where sandy soil requires some more water for the development and the growth, as well as loamy soil requires very less water for the development. And season to season, see, in winter season and rainy seasons, the frequency of irrigation will be less comparative to summer season. So this irrigation varies from season to season as well as from crop to crop. Now, what are the sources of irrigation? See, there are number of sources of the irrigation like wells, tube wells, pond, lakes, river, dams and canals. These all are the sources of irrigation, and one most important source of irrigation is rain also. Next, what are the traditional methods of irrigation? See, water is available in well, lake and canals. That water is lifted by the different type of method in the different regions for taken to the field. Some cattle and human labor is also used in these methods. So these methods are cheaper, means not a very expensive, but these are less efficient. And some traditional methods of irrigation are like moat and chain pump. This moat will work only by a pulley system. Pulley is there and one rope is there. By the pulley, this pot will come upside with water, and that water will use for irrigation. What are the modern techniques of the irrigation? See, modern techniques of irrigation is first is sprinkler system. What is this sprinkler system? See, in this perpendicular pipes having a rotating nozzle on the top are joined to the main pipeline at a regular interval. When water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under the pressure with the help of this pump, then this water will come in this perpendicular pipes, and via rotating nozzle it will move like a spray, it will move like a shower, or it will move like it will go in the soil like a rain. But this method is not very good because water will waste in this method, or water will not go particularly to the plant. So for saving water, which type of technique is required? That is known as drip system. This drip system is a very good technique, and by using this drip system we can prevent and we can preserve our water also. We can save our water also. Water conservation is also there by we will use this drip system. What is this drip system? See, the system provides a water to plant drop by drop. Now water will come with this pipe, and this water will directly go to the root of the plant. So this system is a boon in the region where availability of water is very poor. Next agriculture practice is protection from weeds. What are that weeds? Sometime in the field, some undesired plants may grow with a natural crop. That time that plants are known as weed. In one word, we can speak undesired or unwanted plants are known as weeds. Now, what is weeding? See, weeds are also what is weeding? We can control that weed via using different chemicals. So, if we are removing that weed, that time this process is known as weeding. Removal of weed is known as weeding. This weeding we can do manually also, means simply we can pull and we can throw. And this weeding can be done by using some chemicals also, and that chemicals are known as weedicides. Some example of the weedicides like 2,4-D. This is the example of weedicide. How these weedicides will work? These weedicides are sprayed in the field to kill the weeds. And this weedicides will not show any harmful effect on the crop. Only this weedicides will destroy the weeds. Okay, and how we can use this weedicides means we can use this weedicides by diluting that solution in the water, and simply we can spray. Like this, we can use these weedicides or these chemicals for removing weeds. Next is harvesting. What is the harvesting? Harvesting means to cut the crop. When crop becomes mature, that time cutting off the crop, that is known as harvesting. We can do this harvesting by using sickle or by using a machine that is known as harvester. In the harvested crop, the grain seed need to be separate from the chaff as well as from the waste, and this separation method is known as threshing. Now, this is carried out with the help of machine. This is known as combine. This is the combine, means two processes will at a same operation or at a one operation. Means this combine will do harvesting also, this combine will cut the crop also, as well as this combine will separate the grains from the waste also. But in some places and in some small places, these separation of grain is done by using winnowing also. What is this winnowing? If we will separate the grain from the waste using by wind, that time this process is known as winnowing. Next is storage. What is the storage? Our harvesting, after harvesting as well as after separation of the grains, next process is storage. So we can store our grains in containers as well as in big drums also. But before storage, some important points are there. What are that points? Before storage, it is necessary that keep your grains in the presence of the sunlight. If you will put the grains in sunlight, that time your grains becomes dry, and after when you are doing storage, that time if we will put some neem leaves as well as some medicines, that time our grains will not be spoiled by microorganisms or by pests, and we can save and we can store the grains for a long time period by using chemicals as well as by putting some neem leaves or by drying also. Next is animal husbandry. What is this animal husbandry? In one word, if we will speak, then this animal husbandry is a caring of animals. Because in the agriculture, animal is also playing a very good and very important role. Because compost as well as manure, from where we will get? We will get this compost and manure only by plants as well as by animals. That's why the proper care of animal as well as to provide the proper food, as to provide the clean and proper shelter, all these techniques are come in animal husbandry. So in one word we can speak that the protection as well as caring of animal is known as animal husbandry. So, dear children, this is the explanation of the chapter 1, that is crop production and management. Thank you.